Welcome back to Life Released. Here we talk about life and death and everything in between. It has been a minute since I have recorded something, and I've been, doing a little bit of hustling, some shaking and grooving, some all of that. And today I am so excited to talk to you guys because I have just been diving deep into what it is to be alive and how death gives us meaning in this life and what we do with the opportunity that we have right now. Amazing. Today I want to talk about chronic fatigue syndrome. And why would I be talking about chronic fatigue syndrome? I'll tell you why. And just to let you know that if you want to have like a little sit down, more relaxed read through of what I got to say here, please go to my website, liferelease.com. And I wrote a blog about it, so you can kind of just skim through what I'm talking about today in a nutshell. It's not verbatim what I'm saying now on what it says on my website, but you get the same gist. But I think this is totally important because as you all know, right now we are going through a period of illness. And I hate saying that because I hate to think about humanity having to suffer and endure this terrible time that we're in right now. Due to an illness of unknown origins. And please excuse, there's going to be a lot of noise in the background. I'm outside enjoying this beautiful day. It's a little chilly, my hair's a little wet. Maybe it's not the best thing, but listen, I just wanted to be outside. So you're gonna hear some sprinklers, you're gonna hear some birds, maybe some cars. I have 4 dogs and they are little hellions as soon as I hear a little noise. So try not to get too distracted by that. And I will try not to get too distracted either. So right now we are going through something that is really creating a major shift, not only financially, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I want to sort of talk about a little bit what we can do, because I don't want us to become a society of how can others help me. I want people to be like, I got this. I'm in control. I'm in charge of my life. I don't need somebody else's help. If you need help, go get it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, don't become so dependent on somebody else to fix your problems. We can do it on our own, okay? We can do it. So, chronic fatigue syndrome. Chronic fatigue syndrome has been something that many medical professionals have labeled as a mental illness, something that people are making up in their head, and it's not something treatable because it's not real. Sort of like fibromyalgia. It's a condition that you have physical pain, but there's no way to prove it with x-rays, blood tests, any of that. So a patient is suffering day in and day out for years with this condition, and there is no explanation for it. There's no tests, nothing that can help them with these symptoms. So I'm not sure exactly why I started looking into chronic fatigue. I kind of do, but I don't want to get into that. Sort of because I don't want to create more unnecessary information into this. Anyways, just know that I started researching chronic fatigue, and I was intrigued. A lot of the cases that I was reading through, a lot of the research that I was going through, a lot of the testimonials that I was listening to, really stemmed from sort of the same sort of thing. And what is that? They experienced flu, they experienced what was like a flu with fever, a flu with body aches, excuse me. And after they got done with that episode of that flu-like type situation with a high fever and all that, they were not the same after that. They went from being either a successful business person, lawyers, doctors, athletes, people who had a life, not to say, I'm trying to sound so politically correct. Listen, these people were active, contributing citizens. They had something that they had, a goal, a passion, whatever. And all of a sudden, after recovering from this flu-like illness, they were laid out. They were in bed. They couldn't even have light shining into their room. They couldn't even get out of bed to go to the bathroom. It's very like you're a prisoner in your own body, because you feel like, why can't I even walk? Like, even telling your body to take one step, in front of the other, like their brain is telling their feet, move move feet, and it's like they're drunk almost. So it was very sad and disheartening, and just what a helpless situation to be in, where you say that you have all these, you're experiencing all these symptoms, and you go to your doctor and they're like, nothing's wrong with you, like you're fine. And it's so funny, I remember watching a Golden Girls episode. I love the Golden Girls. And Dorothy was experiencing these symptoms, and she kept going from one doctor to another, and nobody would believe that she had an illness. And it was funny, her mom, Sophia Petrillo, goes into the doctor's room and basically calls the doctor out, saying, listen, Mr. Know-it-all, if my daughter is in tip-top shape, why does she feel like, why is she having all these symptoms? So the thing that I just want you to first understand is that a lot of these cases, it started with a high temperature, flu-like symptoms. So right now, what are we going through? We're going through a period where a lot of people are having they're having fevers. I mean, you go to anywhere that's like if I work in hospitals, and before they even let me in through the doors, they're checking my temperature. A lot of facilities are using that as a screening tool, checking your temperature. And if you have a high temperature, you may have this virus. So I want you to also recognize that a virus that's going on right now with every other virus, such as like HIV, hepatitis, people have experienced a high temperature, a high fever with flu-like symptoms. Oh. They are so noisy, but those ducks are so beautiful. Look at me getting distracted. But you should be getting distracted by nature. I want you to at least, I don't care if you have a busy day, you have to take at least 5 minutes to go outside and just appreciate what a beautiful world we live on. I don't know what the hurry is for everyone to get to Mars nowadays. What's on Mars? I don't know. To me, it just looks like a red, dusty planet. What aren't they telling me? Like, why do we have to get off this planet? I don't know. Sidetracked, rewind. So you get these flu-like symptoms when you get, before being diagnosed with HIV, hepatitis, So hello, the virus that's going around right now, those are the major symptoms. So after having these symptoms of high fever, body aches, fatigue, major malaise, like you just can't get out of bed, after the person starts feeling better, then they just crash again, and it's this almost paralyzing, out of body, like it's not even your body anymore because you can't control it, experience. So being that we're going through a major worldwide situation where a lot of people are getting infected by this virus, I am just waiting for people for the rates of depression, fatigue, body aches to skyrocket, because I think that chronic fatigue is a symptom, is a lasting symptom from having this other weird virus that they caught. So to give you a little bit of history, because I think I'm jumping around a little bit. So when chronic fatigue first became a known thing, before that, there was a town in Nevada, I believe, Lake Tahoe, oh my God, Utah. It was either in Utah or Nevada. A small town kept, their townspeople kept getting sick. Sick like they can't get out of bed, they can't even, be in a room with light coming in. I mean, it was like a weird situation. So after 200 people were getting this illness, this mysterious illness, the doctors of the town were like, we don't know what to do. Like, what can we do? So they contact the CDC and say, listen, something is happening in our little town. We have no idea what's going on. The tests come out inconclusive. Like, we just don't know what to do. Like, could you come out? I mean, maybe there's something in the water. Like, come help us. So the CDC comes to the town, and they run their tests on people and whatever the situation. And they're like, okay, we'll get back to you. Well, they were like, there's nothing here. This seems like the doctors are colluding with the patients, because they're basically just making all of this up. Like, this is not a real thing. And the townspeople were left like, are you joking? Like, do you really think that we're faking like all of this like all of this illness that's just going around? And it totally freaked out the townspeople, because they're like, oh my God, I don't want to get what, Sally down the street has. So everybody like started staying indoors and started staying away from other people. And it was kind of reminiscent to what's happening now. Like, let's stay away from other people. Let's not be in contact with other people. Like, we don't know. This is weird. So, it's something that we should not be. I don't want you to be afraid of your neighbor or your coworker or anything like that. Let me, I guess, get to the point of what I want to share with you today. According to someone who was the forefront person, the researcher who ended up getting fired and even imprisoned for trying to be a whistleblower for some individuals that weren't handling like these cases correctly. Her name, oh God, her name is escaping me. Did I write her name down anywhere? Oh, I'm so sorry. What was her name? I can't remember her name. Anyways, a Google search, if you Google, you can find anything on the internet now. Google head researcher of chronic fatigue syndrome, jailed, something like that. And you'll find her story, her situation. I believe she's come out with a couple of books sort of explaining her side of the story. Anyway, she was totally painted out to be a villain, that she was the one that was conspiring, and it was just, it was just crazy. Oh, Roxy, you totally just derailed my thoughts. Oh, she was saying that at least 80% of Americans are infected with this sort of, I don't want to say infected, because then you think I'm infected with something, so I have like a condition. What I'm saying is you have been in contact with a certain virus that may or may not lead into having symptoms. So if you think of like cities like New York, Chicago, where people are basically living on top of each other, it's very easy for you to spread something very easy. If somebody gets it, goes back to their apartment building, and it's just easy to spread. So she says that at least 80% of Americans are affected or have been in contact with this virus that could lead to you developing symptoms of chronic fatigue. So I think we've all been infected with this virus that's going around right now, because it's so silly and absurd to think that when a person, I keep saying patient, when a person in a household gets extremely ill to the point where they have to go to the hospital, everyone else in the home, like, they're fine. Like, they test positive, but they're fine. So, and it's just like chronic fatigue. Like, someone could be so sick in bed that they can't do anything, and the rest of the household is fine. Sometimes a couple of people in the home develop the symptoms of chronic fatigue, but for the most part, it's either one person, and then the rest of the people in the home are left to like care for this relative that's bedbound. So this also, I think, creates a lot of death anxiety, and this is what I want you to understand. Yeah, the idea of death can seem kind of scary and daunting, and for depending on what you believe, what your beliefs are, you may be scared of death because it's going to be this long, infinite, dreamless sleep. Like, that's it. Like, lights out. There's no more you. That's it. Like, you never existed. Poof, you're gone. And I'm not here to tell you one way or the other, like, what happens after death. This is not this video. What I'm telling you is that don't let this this idea that what's going around right now, I believe that it's giving a lot of people a lot of death anxiety. So what can we do about it? First and foremost, taking care of your physical body, because then mental health will follow. Your physical health, your body needs to feel good in order for your mind to feel good. And a lot of people might think that it's the other way around, like you have to be feeling good in here in order to be feeling good. I don't know. You figure out what's better for you. For me, I think if I feel good, I'm looking better in my clothes, I'm able to get around a lot more, I'm able to enjoy things, then my brain just instantly follows. So I am begging you almost, please take care of your body. I don't want you to be dependent on drugs, antidepressants, pain pills, antiviral medication. Our body wasn't created to have vaccines and all these synthetic drugs injected into us. It's just not how we are supposed to be functioning. Our body is so smart. Why would we want to create so many toxins within, or inject and ingest so many toxins to help our body function? Well, no, it's sort of impairing it. It's doing the opposite. When you take in a medication, you're suppressing something that your body is trying to do to rid whatever it is that's happening in there. Like if you have an upset stomach, and if you have diarrhea or you're vomiting, like you are going to go reach for that anti-diarrheal or whatever nausea medication. Well, your body is like, we need to get these toxins out. Like, let me do this. And instead, you're inhibiting by taking all this medication in. You're inhibiting your body to release all these toxins. Like, that is just crazy to me. Don't instantly think that because if you have a symptom that you have to go run to your medicine cabinet and get something out. Wait it out, sweat it out, fast if you can. I know a lot of people are against fasting when you are sick. They think that you have to eat and all of that. But not necessarily. Depending on your situation, you don't necessarily need to eat when you're feeling sick. Let your body recharge. Let it do its own cleansing process. Let it do its thing, okay? It didn't come from nothing to what it is now because of human intervention. Let Roxy do her thing. Like, it was able to create itself without humans trying to make it different, okay? I know now, like, they're like with what's that thing where like they can just genetically modify. Oh my god, why am I having so many brain farts today? There's just too much in my head. Like, I'm just trying to regurgitate like all this stuff that I've just been taking in lately. What is it called? CRISPR, where they're basically taking out all the impurities of what it is to be a human to make like a superhuman. Well, that's AI now. Like, that's not, natural human creation. We come from the earth. That is coming from a science lab. So if you want to be what you were meant to be, like to be natural, coming from this organic matter from the earth, then let's treat it that way. Let's take in things that give us sustenance, nutrients, minerals, the things that we need to run on. That saying, let food be thy medicine, like, he didn't say that just because, like, he really believed that. So let's take a little bit more time to focus on ourselves and stop trying to go to someone else to fix us. Let's first try to change our diet, change how we treat our body. If you are so sedentary to the point that walking up and down the stairs, it seems like you just ran a marathon, something's got to change. I know, listen, I'm one, I'll be the first one to admit, the older I get, the less I love to exercise to the point that I'm sweating. Back in the day, I loved it. Like, if I didn't get a good sweat, like, I wasn't working out. But now, even if it's just like a walk and I'm doing deep breathing, I'm clearing out negative thoughts from my head, I'm purging out all of that stress from the day, I come back into my house and I'm just like a new woman. So you don't necessarily have to go and lift 1,000-pound weight. You just breathe out all that negativity, that weight that you have sitting on your chest. Get into a good mind frame. Get into that idea that, wow, I am so lucky and blessed to be alive right now. Treat your body good. And I know that there's varying degrees of people who have a fantastic life to a freaking shitty life. I get it. Like, listen, I've been on both ends of the spectrum. Like, I know the struggle. Maybe not as bad as some people, but I've definitely had it a lot worse than others. So I know what it's like to be feeling like crap. do a little bit of research on how to do something healthily, whether it be dry fasting, water fasting. There's also some controversy with like juice fasting, where all you do is drink juice. And not to say that I don't want you to do a juice fast or a water fast or a dry fast to lose weight. I want you to do it to cleanse your freaking body, and especially if you're eating a lot of meat and dairy. Again, I know a lot of people think that we were born to eat meat and eat all this cheese and drink milk and all of that. I get it. But you also have to understand that maybe if we were to do to be able to consume all this animal product, I want you to remember that back in the day, you went to the person who actually killed that animal for your meat. You went to his house and picked up that, whatever it is that, I don't know, ground, whatever. Now, when you go to the grocery store and you get ground beef, who knows where it's coming from? Especially the ones that come in those, those packages, like those big sausage packages that are like $1.99 sometimes. Can you imagine how many different animals are grinded up into that thing? And you don't know if what the sanitary conditions were. Was that animal sick because they're just crammed into the space? Like, it's just times are different now. So if you could, and if you would, just be a little bit more conscious and aware that when you go to big supermarket chains and you're buying meat in bulk, just know that maybe the conditions there are not the best. So if you're eating meat, it might not be the best quality. Just keep that in mind, okay? And as far as dairy goes, again, was this animal given tons of antibiotics and medications and all of that? Was it ripped away from its babies or mother, or like, and is there like bad? Because if when you have stress, you create hormones. So can you imagine if that dairy cow is under stress because it's either overheated or underfed or underwatered, or it's just in a trauma state, and you're drinking that? I do believe everything is vibration. I don't care if I think it's been pretty much proven that everything is vibration, even quantum physics. Like, you can take that to the bank, okay? People who think that spiritualism is some woo-woo fakes, shit, like scientists have come to a conclusion that yes, everything is a vibrational field, like the quantum field. Like, listen, everything is vibrating, everything is energy. So you're consuming something that's coming from anxiety, fear, stress, trauma, and you're ingesting that. I don't know. So eat something that is alive more. Eat more salad, eat more fruit, eat more raw vegetable, eat something that's going to create good, a good microbiome. Like your gut apparently now is your second brain. Like, there's so much that's coming from your gut than it is your brain. Your immunity's in your gut. Your health is in your gut. So before you go and reach for another medication, think about, do I want to put more stress on organs in my body that are actually made to cleanse my body of all these bacterial infections, viral infections? Your poor liver, your poor liver and kidneys, all they're doing is working overtime to rid your body of all these toxins that you're putting in it by eating fast food, drinking sugary drinks that are basically just chemical. Like, if you're gonna drink alcohol, like I enjoy sometimes a good cocktail, but listen, I'm not gonna go and get some fake chemically altered beverage from a shelf, if I'm gonna have a drink, it's going to be a nice little tequila or a nice little vodka with a fresh juice or just like that over ice. Like, I don't need to add all this extra crap in it, like a pina colada or a mudslide, or these. I saw this mixed drink. It's like a margarita, a mango margarita, like already like a tequila brand already makes some mango margarita, like you just pour it over ice. And I'm like, there is not 1 ounce of mango in this entire thing. Like, it is all artificial. There's just processed sugar that's sweetened. Like, there's just nothing that benefits your nothing. Like, I was having a mimosa a couple of days ago, and I blended some fresh pineapple and mixed it with my champagne. And although I don't want you to be drinking champagne and pineapple juice all the time, but at least it was a little treat. It was a treat for me to have on a Sunday. But at least I know that there's some freshness to it. There's something that at least my body can take from it, and it's natural. So be more mindful that way. Have just the appreciation that your body is trying to keep you alive, but if you keep feeding it junk with, and with your mouth and your ears and your eyes, like, give your body a break. So what does this have to do with chronic fatigue? Let's create a better vessel to be able to handle all this virus and infection that's going around. Like, let's have let our bodies have the best opportunity to fight everything that's going around. Create an environment where your body is functioning properly. Let your immune system do what it does best. So eat good food, laugh more often, enjoy life, enjoy your family, enjoy your enemies. There is no point of having enemies. There really isn't, unless you just like to have enemies. I don't know. Live your life with purpose. Live your life with meaning. And really just appreciate that, wow, you are able to get up every day and witness a sunrise and a sunset. Enjoy everything in between. Even if you have to go to a shitty ass job, go make your money, come home, and try to develop a plan to do something that you really do, want to enjoy and do for the rest of your life. You're not a victim. You are someone who has every opportunity to do whatever it is that you want to do, okay? So, moral of the story, take care of your body before your body becomes just so overwhelmed that it can't take care of itself. And the only person that really is going to be suffering is not this body, because this body is just a meat vessel. What really is going to be suffering is that voice in your head, because that's all that you're going to be left with, because this is not going to be functioning anymore, and you're just going to be left with your thoughts, your dark thoughts, and thinking, why didn't I do things differently? So that's it. That's all I got to say for today, and I hope you really take this little chat that I had with you to heart. I really want this world to be filled with more people who are these go-getters that are just willing to do whatever it takes to have a better life, have a better body, just feel good. You don't have to be a size whatever, just feel good. Because when you feel good, you're mentally better capable to dealing with whatever shit life has to throw at you. So, do what's best for you, and the rest will follow. Okay? All right, guys. That's all I have to say for today. And until the next time, take care of yourself. Bye.